Speaking. All right, guys, we're going to get started. Welcome, everyone. Everyone here present in the room, as well as anyone tuning in virtually. My name is Mark Glass, and I'm the president of Theta here at Georgia Tech. And I'm grateful for the privilege of performing the associate member ceremony for these men up here in person. We have gathered here today to welcome these new associates to the Beta Alpha chapter of the Theta Psi fraternity. It is our hope that as a result of this brief ceremony and the exchange of vows, that you, as an associate, will have a better understanding of the ideals of our fraternity, will have instilled in you a loyalty for Theta Psi which it deserves. The fraternity is an outgrowth of an individual's desire and need for more closely knit social companionship during his college life than he would get through clubs and other societies. Because of this fact, and the fact that the fraternity promotes individuality, it lays stress on high quality, men, rather than quantity in its search for members. It realizes that you, as the associate of today, will become the leader of tomorrow. We as a fraternity are successful only as we look to the future and plan ahead for the safe and progressive continuance of the work we have started. The fate of our fraternity and its future leadership will be largely the responsibility of you, and we are admitting into our circle. First as an associate and later as an initiate. Our history has been one of honorable and steady progress since our founding in 1864, and our growth has been both careful and conservative. Until at present, we have attained a high standing fraternally, socially, and financially. We do not intend to stop here. Theta Psi, with your help, and with the help of its loyal brothers, will progress yet further. As an acknowledgement of the great achievements of this fraternity, I will now present the memorial trophy. This award is given to the top performing chapter of Theta Psi in the nation, and I'm proud to announce that we have won this for 2 years in a row. This is an award and is an outgrowth of the hard work and dedication of each of our current brothers, and I hope it will inspire each and every one of us to maintain the progress and momentum we have made in recent years. Never forget that this progress will depend on you, the prospective brothers of our fraternity. You have demonstrated your willingness to accept the responsibilities of membership in our fraternity and have been selected to share the benefits of our past experiences and are most capable to lead this fraternity to new heights. I will now read a passage from the Bible that we feel truly exemplifies the brotherly love that we aim to establish in our fraternity. John 13, 1 through 17, 34. Before the Paschal festival, Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart this world to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. Now when it was time for supper, the devil had already put it into the heart of Judas, Simon Iscariot's son, to betray him. Jesus knew that the Father had given everything into his hands, that he had come from God, that he was going back to God. So he got up from supper, laid aside his outer clothing, took a towel, and tied it around himself. Next, he poured water into a basin and began to wash his disciples' feet and to dry them with the towel tied around him. He came to Simon Peter, who asked him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus answered him, "What I'm doing you don't realize now, but afterward you will understand." "You will never wash my feet," Peter said. Jesus replied, "If I don't wash you, you have no part with me." Simon Peter said to him, "Lord, not only my feet, but also my hands and my head." One who has bathed, Jesus told him, doesn't need to wash anything except his feet. But he's completely clean. You are clean, but not all of you. For he knew who would betray him. This is why he said, "Not all of you are clean." When Jesus had washed their feet and put on his outer clothing, he reclined again and said to them, "Do you know what I have done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and you are speaking rightly, since that is what I am. So if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also ought to wash one another's feet. For I have given you an example that you also should do just as I have done for you. Truly I tell you, a servant is not greater than his master, and a messenger is not greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, you are blessed if you do them. I give you a new command: love one another, just as I've loved you, you are also to love one another. So now I would like to turn it over to our Associate Member Educator, Chris Wade.
Thank you, Mark. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming today. For those of you who are online, my name is Chris Wade, and I'm the Associate Member Educator of Theta Xi. I will be in charge of preparing these guys for eventual initiation into the Brotherhood and for teaching them the values and traditions of our fraternity. So, associates, just as Jesus commanded us in the passage that Mark just read, your big brother will be here to love and serve you as a friend and brother. To demonstrate this support, your big brother will now present you with your associate member shield. Associate member Pinto, your big brother is Ethan Benville. Associate member Condra, your big brother is Andy Chinabet. Associate member Drake, your big brother is Sam Eck. Associate member Hodges, who could not be with us today, your big is Gabe Craner. Associate member Middlebrooks, your big brother is Joseph Ashley. Associate member Craig, your big brother is Josh Boyle. Associate members Zepkowski, your big brother is Bennett Krause. Associate Member Lewis, your big brother is Mason Murphy. Now call Mark back to the podium.
We have given to you, as a token of our belief in you, our Associate Shield, which is one of the most respected emblems of our fraternity. We know that you, in respecting it, will respect your future brothers and yourself the more. In view of the fact that you have accepted this token, we wish to enter into a mutual contract, a contract in which we shall all bind ourselves to the furtherance of our ideals, to the ideals of our fraternity. Should anything untoward develop which might lead our chapter to believe that your desirability as a member is in question, we reserve the privilege of holding our contract with you in abeyance until those objections are overcome. Brothers of the Beta Alpha chapter of the Theta Xi fraternity, do you accept these associates as prospective members of our fraternity and promise to help them and educate them in the ideals of our organization?
We do.
Associates, you have heard the pledge of the brothers of this chapter. In exchange, we ask you give a corresponding pledge by which you bind yourselves to the fraternity as its future members, holding yourselves in readiness for our official notification of the time and place of initiation, which will be at such time and under such conditions which are consistent with the rules of this school and with our fraternity. Associates of the Beta Alpha chapter of the Theta Xi fraternity, please stand. Do you accept the pledge of our chapter, which has just been made to you, and do you, in exchange, commit yourselves to the fraternity under the conditions outlined, binding yourselves to a kindly consideration of others?
We do.
We have given our pledges. Let our associate's shield be a visible reminder of them. Wear the shield with the pride in which it deserves to be worn. Its colors shall become your colors. Keep them bright and true as they now are. Remember that Theta Xi will never fail a member who does not fail it. Congratulations. Now to speak on the importance of brotherhood and leadership, I invite our former president, Justin Moore, to the podium. Justin graduated in December of 2019 with a degree in mechanical engineering. He's currently pursuing a master's in mechanical engineering. He lives in Atlanta still, and he was president before me from 2018 to 2019. So, Justin. Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
All right. Well, good evening. Like Mark said, my name is Justin Moore, and I'm a master's student in mechanical engineering and a Theta Xi alumnus. So I'm excited to be talking to you guys, both as brothers and also as you guys who haven't met yet. I'm excited to have you guys with us. I'm excited you guys are here under the circumstances, and anybody that's live stream, excited to be here with you as well. So hopefully tonight I can share a little bit of my excitement and then my personal experience about my time with Theta Xi with you guys and about the Lord. So for me, my experience with Theta Xi, like so many people, started out with a fraternity was not for me coming out of high school. It wasn't what I was looking for coming into college. A community of believers was what I was looking for coming out though. And I had the two very separated in my head as you can't mix one and the other. And so I went into Rush, kind of the third night of Rush. I ended up going out with my roommate for the free food, as we all do. you guys didn't get that this year, but you will get free food in the future. And so going out and met just an amazing group of people. And one question that kind of shaped my experience that night was, what has God been teaching you recently? And that's one that I previously had not heard that question very much. Even in church, in the group of friends I was around, that wasn't something that people asked each other. Was what's God been teaching you recently? How's God working in your life? And so when I'm sharing this speech with you tonight, this question comes to my mind for several reasons. And so first, it comes to my mind because the Lord's teaching me a lot right now. The Lord's always teaching us a lot, wherever we are. Just in that, really for me, I was at camp this summer, and what it really looks like to serve out of an outpouring of my heart, and not out of, I'm needed to be there. Out of this prideful, I'm necessary here. Another one is really just what it looks like to be obedient and wait for the Lord in what He's directing in my life and what He's directing around me, making that known. The second reason this question was important to me is this question changes with time because the Lord is actively teaching us. So the Psalms and Isaiah are riddled and just kind of sprinkled with teach me your ways, teach me your paths. And through that, the Lord has taught me through my years at Theta, really the power of the Spirit that I hadn't really fully experienced before I got into Theta, what that power of the Spirit looked like. The Lord has taught me how to live in community and what that importance looks like. And why would I pursue Him instead of other things? Kind of that basis for my faith. And so, thirdly, we enter into this question and questions like this, and we enter into them in community. We enter into them to reach into one another's lives. So those guys that asked me during Rush, what has God been teaching you, actually really cared about what that looked like in my life. And I've experienced that in several ways since then as well. And so I think that as we walk with the Lord gives us an obligation as members and brothers of Theta to be reaching into each other's lives and challenge one another, to really challenge their spiritual growth and sharpen our walks with the Lord. Galatians 6:2 talks about bear one another's burdens, and with that, so fulfill the law of Christ. That's what we talked about at church this week, which is cool. So, as a believer in Jesus Christ, hopefully you guys know this is a Christian fraternity, but we take a step of walking in obedience to the Lord. We take that step going forth. And so as an associate member and a brother of Theta, we carry this walk of obedience with us, and we get to share it with each other who are also walking in obedience with the Lord, as we're trying to figure out what that looks like, what that really truly looks like. And so, and then we carry it even farther into the people at Georgia Tech who may not be walking with the Lord, and get to show them what that experience looks like. So there's going to be a lot of experience gained through the interactions you have with brothers. You're going to have some of the best times of your life here, just through the different things you go through and trips you go on. Just at networking opportunities, you're going to gain something. The financial benefit of living in a house is cheaper than living in an apartment. The leadership experience you get. And so there's moments that are going to be gains for you. But really, the moments I've experienced the most is when I've experienced Christ through me and also with the brothers here. Those are the moments that really stand out to me. So whether that be prayers when we all come back together for the semester, time apart, really entering each other's lives, sharing our weakest moments together, serving alongside brothers in various spots, worshiping our Lord, and then evangelizing with one another. Those have been the moments to me that have really stood out the most. And so a lot of things I most fondly treasure in my journey outside of Theta have also been attributed to this place. which is really cool to see how the Lord shaped those through that. So I do an exercise with people I'm trying to get to know better, where I have them share 5 events that are the most, that really tell the story of who they are through 5 events. And so when I tell mine, joining Theta Xi is one of them, but there's also 2 that are indirectly / directly attributed to that, like joining Theta Xi. And so for me, that has been a big part of, really just my life, and a big part of, and it can be a big part of your life as well, if you really choose to step into that. And so, based on what I said, it kind of seems like things are going to flow pretty naturally in Theta Xi, and that a lot of people, like everybody finds community and grows with the Lord here. And really that's not necessarily always true, because a lot of people, most of us in this room have experienced difficult seasons in Theta Xi, where we may not have been walking with the Lord as closely as we want to. And so that's a challenge for going to that question that I asked, of really taking a concerted effort to see how their walk is being shaped right now, and to really step into their life right now, and bring them into this fold of walking with the Lord. And so, Theta Xi is not perfect, and I don't think it will ever be. But the Lord is using it to shape so many believers in it. He's using it to shape every one of us, and He's also using it as a vessel to push out, or as a vessel to send out believers. And so this is what we can enter into as we walk in, as you guys as associates come in. You can enter in with a concerted effort that you guys want to go and pour into this place, and enter into this with the brothers that are here. And so I looked at one of my good friends, so kind of about that sending out believers. I have a couple good friends that have been sent out from Theta Xi and are now doing different church work, different mission work. So I have a good friend, Max Plaskett, who's a brother that graduated a couple years before me, and he's serving full-time at a youth camp in Montana to share Christ with people and to direct them to Christ. One of my best friends, Jason Vickers, so the Lord has grown him enormously in college through the people he's interacted with, and through his local church especially. And so he was sent out this semester to go on mission to South Asia, and because of COVID, he's on mission here in Atlanta this semester. But this heart for mission was really sprouted out in the growth that he experienced in college. And so we have a lot of brothers that are full-time missionaries, and those that are serving in local churches. So it's something that we can use as sending out to these different things, into different workplaces that may not experience Christ otherwise. And so from my time of 4.5 years at Theta Xi, I think I'm supposed to give some wisdom that you guys can glean from this time. So I'll go pretty quick through these. I have 4 kind of wisdom pieces. First is serve more than you receive. To lead and to serve is our national fraternity's motto. And so you have, like I say you have, on this you have, or you're about to do foot washing. What Mark's passage was in John was when Jesus washed the feet of his disciples. And so usually when we could be around each other, not 6 feet apart, your big brothers would wash your feet. And that would be an experience where he could go down and serve you in that moment, humble himself before you to show that you are greater than him in that moment. And so that's something that's very special. It's maybe something you guys have or haven't done, but really it hits home when we kind of think of Jesus not only serving the disciples and washing their feet and making them outwardly clean, but really how we look for how he died for the unrighteous that deserve the condemnation that we all deserve. And so So in Romans it says even good people don't die for people or for good people. Even people don't die for good people. And so dying for sinners and humbling yourself unto death on the cross is something that is becomes much more real to me as I was thinking about just foot washing and what really service was. Jesus didn't just wash the feet. And then, so we have this obligation to serve the flock that is before us. In 1 Peter 5, it talks about serving the flock. And so we do this with all humility that's before us. If you don't read 1 Peter 5, that's pretty good. And so this mindset carried me through a couple different roles through Theta Xi, just in what service looks like. Mark said I was president. We won the World Trophy last year as well. And I was also Brotherhood Events chair and a D group leader and tailgate chair. And just different ways that you can serve a variety of means before you. Number 2 is discover what makes you passionate and explore that to the fullest. So I'm someone that didn't know exactly what I wanted to do coming into college. I still don't know what I exactly want to do, even though I'm getting my master's. But I did find out some things that I was passionate about, whether that be different hobbies or whether that be developing people and doing youth ministry. And so stepping into these with as much as I can and really growing in those is something that I encourage you guys to do. Is figuring out what that looks like and going all into it. It allows us to, brings us into opportunities with non-believers that we may not have had before. The other thing is, it's going to be pretty cliche, but take off some masks that we have on all the time. Just emotionally, let people really enter into who we are. Really just, I've had to take off one of seeking acceptance and belonging wherever I am, acceptance from men, and seeing myself in what I did as well. So really taking those off and hiding these under the mask of a Christian faith without realizing the deeper things that I was going through. And so, yeah, I could be president of a Christian fraternity, but not really pursuing a faith with Jesus. So, really looking into like what that faith, like taking off those masks around us, and then really trying to get to know people for its own sake. So coming back to the first question that I asked, are we really getting to know people around us? Are we pouring into these people, these brothers? And so, if there's one thing that I hope you get from my message tonight, it's that the Lord is moving around us and that we have a call to step into this work. I'm excited for you guys going forward. I hope that the Lord continues to move in and through y'all. So, thank you guys. It's a pleasure speaking with you guys tonight. But yeah, appreciate it.
Thanks, Justin. Really good reminder of this community. It's a weird time. It's really weird seeing everyone spaced out with masks on. It's kind of like dystopian, but like this brotherhood, it's much stronger than a pandemic. Theta Xi was founded in 1864. This chapter was founded in 1951. So we've been through a lot, or we get through a lot, but we're all very excited for y'all becoming associates. We're excited to invest in you. We're excited to see you invest in our brotherhood, make our brotherhood better, and we're excited for the future as well. So with that, our ceremony is ended, and now we'll go out and family dinners around Atlanta. So yeah, appreciate y'all being here.